Hello and welcome back to the Becoming Relentless podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Eleanor McCabe, and I am joined by
Cecily West, Team Haley Coach.
And Danielle Kissenberger, Team Haley Coach.
And we are so happy to have you guys here. We are going to dive into a listener question. Somebody asked if we could go into how did we each get into fitness/bodybuilding?
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one.
Get to know us.
Yes, get a little bit of background history.
Yeah.
We love it.
So who wants to start?
I can go first.
Okay.
So I actually was not very athletic growing up. I think I hear a lot of stories about bodybuilders being like in sports and stuff. I really struggled like middle school. I tried out for cheer, basketball, like soccer, all of the sports, didn't make any of the teams.
Yeah.
Like it was just not in the cards for me. I was not athletic. It's okay. It's okay. It was fine. But I did swim and water polo in high school. And that was really cool, but I was never very good. Like
I feel like a water polo, which I mean, I haven't ever watched it. I feel like you have to be like athletic in that though.
you have to be good at swimming and like treading water. So I feel
I would suck.
I feel like I was good at that. I was good at holding myself up in the water.
Yeah.
I was never the fastest or the strongest or, I was very middle of the pack.
Y'all would be like, where's D? And I'd be underwater.
Like, where'd you go? You found her. And so I think like the foundation really started for me in college. I saw a friend compete. I think that's kind of common. A lot of people see a bodybuilding show. But I saw her get up on stage and just shine up there. And I thought, oh man, I want to try that. I want to do that. So I got into weightlifting. I had a bunch of like different gym partners through college. But really like what kickstarted it for me was seeing a bodybuilding show in person and just thinking how cool it was.
Yeah.
And I liked that it was a competition with yourself essentially because you are compared to other people.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's how hard are you willing to work? How hard are you willing to go with diet, training, cardio, all of that? It's up to you. And like however much you work is what you get back.
Yeah.
I really liked that because with the team sports that I tried out for, it was like I could try really, really hard, but I was never going to dunk a basketball. Like I wasn't going to just learn how to tumble for cheer without having like that background. So with bodybuilding, the draw for me was that like if I put all of my energy into it, I would see the rewards.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I love
It was
that.
cool. Yeah.
cool.
That's essentially that's
it.
how I got into it.
Yeah.
I did go through a really rough breakup,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I'm not friends with any of my high school group anymore.
I know how that is.
Yeah. So like at dinner the other night when you were like, oh, I still have all my friends, I was like, man, that's super cool.
Yeah. I was like, I couldn't relate with
Yeah.
props to you.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mate for life, baby.
Yeah. Sess is over here just top tier quality.
No.
Quality friends
don't-
only.
I mean, I am very selective in who my friends are, so I will say that.
Which is cool. I
Yeah.
think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a group like in high school. I had a boyfriend. We dated for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm a very monogamous person. I date
Yes.
for long times.
Yeah. See, that's my flaw. I basically don't date at all.
I don't know if that's a flaw. You're not missing out. Like, but yeah, what ended up happening, long story short, is my boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend.
Oh my God.
No way, we're in the same boat, bro.
Yeah.
No way.
Dude, it's scarred.
This is
Damn.
insane. Yeah,
Traumatized.
that's exactly how I.
Damn.
Oh
that's
my God, this is
horrible,
insane.
you guys.
Dude, it
no,
was
best friend. Yeah. Sorry,
it
this
was bad,
is
dude.
mind-blowing.
It was bad.
I can't believe we're in the same place.
And essentially, because I went to college out of state, like
Yeah.
I heard about it
Mm-hmm.
from other people, and then I heard it from them. And what like crushed me the most was like my best friend at the time. She didn't have the courage to tell me herself or to call me or talk to me about it. She just like completely just shut off, like didn't say a thing. I heard it from my boyfriend. We broke up, and I basically just cut ties with everybody in California because I was like, they're still hanging out with them. They almost reformed the group, but just my boyfriend and best friend were together. And it's like I wasn't even.
Wow.
Hey,
So,
they're
yeah.
missing out because you're a dope person.
Yeah, they
outside
really
of
are
that with
missing out.
an insane career and potential. Like, yeah.
But that like. Thank you. That was
No,
really
you're
nice.
welcome.
That's
It's all
very nice.
fast.
That is very nice.
I hope that they're like, oh, damn. I missed out.
Well, essentially, that is like what kickstarted me into fitness.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it was really crappy that that happened to me. But if that didn't happen to me, I don't think I would have been in the gym and getting into bodybuilding.
Yeah, kind of
So-
like back to our mindset. one where it's like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
and there's some kind of
exactly.
lesson and there's some kind of reward that's going to happen from the hard times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely was a hard lesson, but I think it happened for the best.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into fitness.
That's a fun one.
And I feel like you guys would understand when you step on stage for the very first time, you just know.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's just this feeling.
Connection.
Like it's so hard
It's
to
passion.
describe. Like literally I stepped that first step out and I was like, I feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Just thinking about it right now, it gives me chills.
That's exactly how it was
Yeah.
for me too.
Yeah. But I guess now I'll kind of share how I got into fitness. So I got I got into fitness in kind of an unhealthy way.
Okay.
It was like my last year of college, and I was like, I want to lose weight because I was never like super fit. I was kind of athletic. I was kind of like I played volleyball, I played golf. I was like always like okay, kind of like jack of all trades. Like I could play whatever sport I wanted to play and be like decent.
Yeah.
But I was never like the best, and I've always wanted to be like the best at something. But that doesn't really play on until like later in the story when I found bodybuilding. But anyways, when I was in college, I wanted to lose weight, so I started to like go to the gym, and I developed kind of an unhealthy relationship with like training and eating. I kind of fell into some disordered eating. I was working out twice a day, lifting
wow.
weights twice a day, and doing cardio at least
Lifting
once.
weights twice a day?
Yes, and then doing cardio twice a day and eating 800 calories.
Oh my gosh.
I lost I think I lost like 40 pounds within like 6 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And so
Holy
like
crap.
that kind of continued on for a while. It was like my last semester of college, and like, but I really loved the training aspect. Like I really fell in love with going to the gym. Like I loved that. And it was pretty cool because like my dad wrote my training program for me because he always
Yeah.
wanted me to get into bodybuilding or like lifting. But what's funny is I didn't train legs at all. I did like booty
my
band
gosh.
workouts.
That is
I only
hilarious.
trained upper body. I was like, let's get ripped.
Yeah. Let's get jacked.
Yep. And so after college, I graduated. I went back home and I continued to like train, but then my diet kind of fell off and I kind of rebounded. And then I felt super lost. And I was like, because I had put a bunch of the weight that I put on, because obviously it's not sustainable to be at 800
yeah.
calories a day. So I rebounded. I was kind of fell into some binge eating, and then the cycle of binge eating, restricting, binge eating, restricting.
Yeah.
And then one day I was on Instagram scrolling, and this girl that I was in a sorority with, Lexi, who's on Team of Haley, I saw her and I saw her progress, and I was like, that's so cool. And so I clicked on her, I saw Justin, and I was like, oh, like he gets really great results with people.
Yeah.
And so that same day I signed up with him, and I was like, let's do this. But I joined as a lifestyle athlete. And
that's so
I literally just
cool.
wanted to like rebuild, like, not rebuild like my relationship with food, but learn how to fuel my body and then also learn how to like properly train. And so I signed up with him. We got started. And then like a month later, he was like, I think you have some potential. You should probably think about competing. And I was like, okay, let's do it. But what's funny is like I
love
didn't
that.
go into this like wanting to compete. I had no idea what competing was.
Yeah.
Like I had no idea about any of this stuff. I had no idea what bodybuilding was at all. But like I found this team, I found Justin, and it's kind of like I found my home.
It's a family.
Yeah.
That
You
is
gotta
so
show that.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how that one split second decision of like being on his page and then signing up like changed the whole trajectory of my life.
Yeah.
Like I kind of get emotional thinking
Yeah.
about it because like literally
was-
that one just like bet on myself paid off in full and like brought me to you guys, brought me here to Austin.
Like here right now.
and
yeah.
like it helped like me with my confidence, and like I've grown like in so many ways that you
And it's dope.
I can't even
because-
describe.
Sorry.
No, it's
Because
okay.
that decision you made, like you're only in the beginning stages of the
Yeah.
impact that it has on you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like the journey is forever.
I know. Like this
Yeah.
is literally we're still in the very, very
Yeah.
beginning of this, and it's
Mhm.
weird and it's crazy, but I love it.
Yeah. I love that so much. I think a lot of people could probably relate to that, honestly, because what happens is people get into fitness and they go super hard.
Mhm.
And it's really
it's
cool
addicting
to
at first.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
addicting. Like I was definitely addicted to everything that fitness had to encompass when I first started.
You're like so into it, you just want to go as far as you can, as fast as you can. But then experiencing what you went through with like this restriction and then binging and then restriction, I think that's a super common loop that people fall into, but they don't realize like there is a way out. Like you don't have
There's
to do
always
that.
a way.
Yeah. Like that's not fitness.
Yeah.
Fitness can be so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
like
much
that.
better.
It's
Yeah.
not fitness. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's that's cool. But you should major props.
Thank you.
Yeah, that
Thank
is
you.
an awesome way to get into
Yeah.
like fitness and bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to that journey.
Yeah.
And make the same decision that you did.
Yeah.
Except hiring
Like if you
you.
feel a calling. Yeah. Exactly. They're
Come to me, baby.
Yeah. We got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super special.
All right. How did you get into fitness?
So I'm still stuck on how we're like in the same situation almost. But so I played volleyball in high school. I'm only 20, so like it wasn't that long ago. My first year I played volleyball, and then that was like my thing, you know, like it's like bodybuilding, and y'all can relate. Like you had a passion before bodybuilding that like that was your home, but I grew out of it. And then I had like a group of friends that were all older than me, and some that were my age, but the person I was seeing at the time was older than me as well. And I was seeing him for over a year. And then he cheated on me with my best friend. And during this time, like I was like, you know, when you're a young female in high school, like that, all you can reflect on is your looks. You can't like if everyone sees looks in high school, that's what like who's prettiest, like the status, all of that matters in high school, which doesn't matter when you leave. And so at the time, like, of course, I focused on my looks. So I felt really alone, depressed. And then I just went to the gym all the time. That was like what I did as I trained. And I did cardio like Seth said. She did as well. And then during this time, an eating disorder, because, you know, you're sad, you're depressed. And that developed. But I was always following Justin on Instagram. And I never it was like we followed each other, but it wasn't a split second that I like decided to hop on.
I think most people they watch and they observe for a while.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm the weirdo
impact.
that's like, oh yeah, right
Let's do
now.
Well, you felt the calling
Yeah.
and followed it. I think some people like to sit back and watch. Like you said, that's what I did.
Yeah.
I watched for like 6-ish months before.
Yeah. During my time watching him, I had a coach, and then I like messaged him because his podcast. Woo. And then we just started. I told him about my goals and whatnot, and he was like explaining like his process and whatnot. And so after a few weeks of talking to him, I decided to hop on with him, which changed my life because it led me here. But I think a lot of people, they get into fitness because of a trauma or depression or eating disorder or not feeling confident in their career, their body, their anything. So fitness has a lot of power, just not on how you look in like getting to stage, but it has a lot of power in what you do with your career and how you stand up for yourself and how you present yourself and carry yourself. So the biggest reason why I got into fitness was to improve how I carried myself and how I thought about myself overall.
I love that. And I think that I really love that, because I think a lot of people get into fitness at first because they want to look better. And then they learn that it's something that can literally change the trajectory of like how you feel, what you do, how productive you are, and how you operate in your day to day. Like it teaches you so much more, and it is so much more than just how you look.
Yeah, I agree. And as much as it impacts your looks physically, it impacts your mental and who you are as a person way more than it does your looks.
Way, way more.
Yeah. You walk out of the gym and like you're committed for 3 months, and you walk out and you feel way stronger than when you first walked in. Not physically, like yes, physically, but mentally. Like you can carry yourself way differently. Yeah, it's very impactful.
It is, yeah. I think when I first started bodybuilding, that like really resonates with me, because I did my first show and my parents were not supportive at all. They didn't get it. They didn't understand why I was competing. They just thought like, oh my gosh, you look scary. Like you're very small. And I was very small.
Yeah.
It was my first show ever. But then I remember I went home and I saw them in person, and they were like, wow, you carry yourself differently. Like your shoulders are up and back, your head is up, like you walk tall. Like you're not trying to make yourself invisible anymore. Because I think like you said, like in high school, it's very centered. It's a bubble when you're in high school, when you're really young, and it's easy to focus on your looks, and it's easy to focus on your peers and what they're doing, what everyone else is looking like. But then once you leave that world, you realize that doesn't matter as much. But I think high school for me, I really internalized that. I thought the way that I looked was super important. And then
what's so funny for me, sorry to like interrupt,
no, you're
like
good.
high school, I was very secure in who I was and what I like brought to the table. And then I went to college, and that's what triggered everything that I did, obviously. But that's when like looks and everything felt super important to me. But I think that's because I come from a really small town, and then I went to a really big college, and it was a completely different experience.
Almost
and
like a shock.
Like the people live different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will say, and like this is something that I think about often, like I used to live in the shadows of who I could be, and now I live as the person I am and who I want to be. So that's like something I always keep in mind throughout my journey, because I don't want to be that person that lives in the shadows anymore. So I hope that y'all carry that with yourselves as well.
Yeah, I really like that.
Me too. I think that's a great note to leave on.
I think so too. I hope you guys got a little bit out of this on how we each started and how bodybuilding has impacted us, how fitness has impacted us. And we appreciate y'all for listening. If you want to share your stories with us.
Ooh, we would love to hear that.
Yeah, we would absolutely love that. So feel free to message us. We're always here, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye. I hope y'all really enjoyed the podcast today, leaving it feeling more relentless than ever. But we have a few things that we would love to ask of you, so I'm going to give this over to Noah.
Thank you guys so much for listening. If you could, I know that this is your new favorite podcast. Please leave a 5-star rating and review. Leave any comments and questions below. And make sure that you're sharing across social media so that all of your friends get to listen to the greatest podcast on earth.
And if you have any questions about any topics that we talk about or anything at all, fitness, competing related, anything, we'll hit you back up, Instagram or in the podcast under, if the comment box is there, then we will definitely answer your questions and help you out as best as we can.
Absolutely. So leave those 5-star reviews. Let us know, and we'll talk to y'all again soon.
Have a relentless day.
Bye.